Alright, y'all. Give me a moment. About to get set up here. Just do a sound check. Excellent. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna make Vampire Survivors clone. And so we're gonna do all this stuff necessary to set that up. And that will start with a new script. We'll just call it survivor.ts for now. Cool. And then we'll go to index. Do a copy, TID, survivor. And then we'll do name is survivor, slug is survivor. Cool. Alright, so we already have like 90% of it. We'll do start from the engine. Drawables is empty. Height is 320. Width is 240. State is something, but we at least have default state from the engine. And these are optional. What else do we need here? Background debug, we don't need either of those. Okay, I mean, well, we did it backwards, which is fine. 240. We're just gonna make it a little bit smaller. We'll probably scale it up later. Okay, so I think the most useful thing right now is to create a map. So, well, we're gonna use like a tile map. And we're gonna have a character that can move along the tile map. So let's focus on that. So what I'm thinking is we go to open game art. And let's just see if there's, I don't know. Let's see if anything comes up. Nothing. What about just survivor? Actually, what's that one other site? Completely forgotten the name of this site. Kenny. I think these graphics are going to be a lot better overall. This is the right style. I wonder if it's more interesting if we make a maze game. Maybe that's more interesting. Same style, but you're going through a dungeon instead, maybe? Or maybe you have the option to go into dungeons, and maybe there's actually like a goal, an overall goal. The UI packs are nice. There's a lot of assets too. I wonder what that means. There are characters. I think these characters are fine. There's even clothing, which is interesting, so we could dress them up. Different items you can hold, which is cool too. Okay, this is like a top contender right now. This is alternative, right? What are we currently looking at? Nothing. And this is roguelike. Oh, so this is just characters? It's fine if it's just characters. I just don't know if the art styles will mesh or not. Thinking about bosses and whatnot. Maybe it'd be interesting if people could go into these dungeons and find treasure chests and it wasn't just like moving around randomly. That there's like a known, and it's more like it's more kind of like Castlevania, where you're actually trying to get upgrades, and you could do more than just walk. So let's keep looking around. And minimap is interesting. I like that. And these UIs are interesting too. We probably want adventure. Is there something we could search? Okay. Maybe we'll work with what we have here. We'll download this. Tiny Town. We'll download this. Oops, almost got me. One day when we have money, we'll donate. Okay. So in public, we'll make a new folder. Survivor. And then we'll take all these zips and move them appropriately. Just give me a moment to delete a few things. Just give me a moment to clean up my system a little bit. Playing card. I don't know who George is. No gold coin. No guy. We want our hip hop. Probably need these coins. And the barbs. Any chest. Here are Kenny's. Delete that. Delete that. Alright, cool. So let's just unzip these. And then we'll move them over to our project. Cool. And then we'll just rename it. Rename mini map. Rename UI. Rename tile set. Rename characters. I wonder if they have anything that looks like an attack. Okay, we'll probably have to find it somewhere else. That's kind of nuts. There's no keyword result for sword. That's fine. We could just make stuff up. We can make our own assets at some point. So we'll close these all out. Close this too. And so let's get to creating our tile map. Not tile set. Let's get this focus and we'll call it rename tile map. I think we have the space to make this bigger, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make the width first. 640 by 40. We have the space. And so what I'm considering doing first is creating the minimap. Hi Alex, how long have you been doing game dev? I've been making games like on and off throughout my development career. It's just like something I do for fun or for hobby. But I've been programming for 10 years and there is a lot of overlap between what I do and game development, especially sometimes when I do more visually compelling software, like virtual reality. It lends itself really well to game development. Welcome to the stream. So I'm gonna do const. We're just gonna figure this out. We're gonna figure out what like a generic tile map is going to look like. It's certainly going to be a drawable. And we'll just say x is 0, y is 0, width is, let's do this. Let's say const width equals 640 const height equals 480 width height. Let's say width height a little bit backwards. We'll make sure we draw the tile map. Then we'll just draw one of these images maybe might not actually be a tile map, and that might be unfortunate. Oh, it is. It's great. And they're just gonna have to be layers too. But that's fine. We'll add that later. We'll add layers later. It's no problem. Okay, so the image is going to be /public /survivor /tilemap 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 pack.png. What is the difference between this and this? No borders. Okay, that's good. I like that. We're gonna save it and just see what happens if we refresh here. Cool. Alright, we're already looking pretty good. So one thing I'm considering doing is also, let's just create some constants here. Say const tile size is 40. And this is probably going to be pretty good as a sprite sheet. And when we say the sprite sheet property, so here we can say tile size, and here we can say row 0, column 0, width. So we gotta take a look at this image, see how big it is. It's 192 width. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 192 divided by 12 is the width of an individual cell. And we could do the same thing. It's likely the same number, but I think it's better to do it manually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna say it's also 12. Say 166 divided by 12. It's 192. And then let's see what it looks like. Okay, I think that looks potentially fine. Only way to know for sure is to do a couple of them. And so what we'll do here is we'll call this tile. And then we'll do another drawable. It's not a sprite sheet, it'll be a drawable. X is 0, Y is 0. The width is width. The height is height. And we're gonna override the draw function. And in the draw function, we're gonna let's just do const tiles equals array.from, and then say length is 10. We'll say .map array.from, length is 10 .map, and we'll say in here column is, I don't know, math.floor, math.random times 5. That's the column, this is the row. So when we draw, we're gonna say tiles dot for each row. We need the row index. And then we say row dot for each column index. Draw. Why are you unhappy? You want me to return something still? Void is not assignable. Yeah, okay. I think we can do void from this now. That's fine. Is there anywhere else that I did draw? There's this one, of course. See. Yep, that should be fine. All right, back to here. And we'll say tile draw config. We'll say config. And we'll say const stuff equals config. We're probably gonna want the context. And we're probably gonna say context.save, context.restore, context.translate. And we'll say this is the X, so it's column times cell tile size, and row times tile size. And you're unhappy because tiles possibly undefined. Well, we did this wrong anyway. Tiles this, right? We're referring to this tile. Alright, well, it's fine. We'll just do the question mark. And what else? Why else are you unhappy? Oh, it's that aspect that's undefined. Okay, we'll just see what happens. Okay, so we're getting something. And so what we'll do here is before each tile draw, we're gonna make this have a data. How'd you learn to make games in TypeScript? I've heard of Python and Unity being used more for game dev. It's just kind of something I've been dabbling with here and there, and it kind of started with my time in virtual reality companies, which allowed me to work with Canvas and learn Canvas a lot. And then just learning little bits of game mechanics here and there, game development mechanics here and there. And so like, in my mind, I just kind of know generally how games work at a low level. And I'm able to apply those learnings. Plus like all the engineering experience helps a lot too. We'll just say that this is engine. Nah, that's fine. We'll say survivor dot state. I mean, to kind of answer your question a little bit more, I would say like the best way to learn anything is just to keep asking questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? Why is it done this way? Why is it done that way? If you really understand the whys, like the motivation, then it's easier to remember it. So I want to go to types. I'll do export namespace survivor, export interface state extends engine.global state. Excuse me. And then what I want also is export interface tile data, which will be a row. And a column. Have I done any projects with Raspberry Pi? I haven't done any projects, but I have a Raspberry Pi, and I have booted it with that RetroPie? I've done that boot, and I've also booted Raspbian as well. But no, I haven't really done any projects with Raspberry Pi other than like little OS setups and whatnot. I'm gonna do tile.data.row equals row index. Tile.data.column equals column index. And then in here we could do you have any projects in mind? I'm not opposed to doing projects. We don't need that. Just say this.data.row. This.data.column. And up here we could say tile data, survivor.tile data. I'm also open to doing like Arduino projects too. I have a whole book on that I've been meaning to get to at some point. Okay, cool. I feel like we're supposed to use cell here. Tile sub column dot row. No. Yeah. Column index dot row index. Column index. We say if cell, bring that up here, and then oh, we don't even need to do that. What am I thinking? We can just say column dot row, column dot column. Do we even need these? Yeah, we do need those. Alright, was that a breakpoint? Oh, we are getting an exception here. Just move my mic. Am I not returning? Okay, it seems like I am. Let's do a pause. Are we paused already? The data's not defined yet, so let's do that. Data row is 0, column 0. Okay, it's promising. The only question is, how do we know that it is correct? So there's actually 12 and 11 tiles, so this is wrong. And then we gotta ask ourselves, does this look right? Web servers and home automation systems sound cool. Okay. I mean, I'm down to make web stuff too. So it's 12 by 11. They're all 16 by 16. Space Week Trials 1-1. And then it's 192. Oh, why do we have all these files open? That's crazy. 192, 176. Okay. I'm a little concerned because there are some gaps. I'm not too sure why that is. I mean, granted, this shouldn't be here, and it looks fine here. So maybe it's not the worst that there's this weird gap here. But let's try to find another one of these. Maybe that has a gap. Or we just like hard code the tiles to be something actually interesting. Maybe we just make it like random grass tiles. If we look at the tile map, these first three are just grass tiles, and we should just probably just pick amongst those three. So 0 to 3 in the column, and then the row is always 0. Maybe that looks more interesting. Okay, so we do see this gap here, and I'm trying to figure out, is the gap seems to be on the right hand side of the flowers. So it's not like it's on the left side of these, it's definitely the right side of the flowers. Do these divide evenly even? Let's do some math. Alright, I mean that looks correct. Okay, so let's just for sanity check. We'll do everything is 0. Okay, and that's just regular boring grass. That's with little plants. And then that's with these flowers. For some reason the flowers have a little bit of extra on the edge, which is not ideal. One thing I could try doing is adding a 1. That helps. I would have. This is the packed one, right? Yeah, I wouldn't have thought you needed that, but here we are. I mean, it's free. It's a free asset. It's not gonna be perfect. So this will be. We'll put 100. Put 100, and then we'll turn the debug mode on, because I want to see the FPS. Okay. I want the FPS to go to like 0. I want to put so many that the FPS dies. Okay, perfect. And the reason this is happening is because we're processing tiles that aren't even on the screen yet. So before our computer crashes, let's go back to 100 by 100. It's potentially too late. I don't think this opens a new one. All right, this is at 24 frames per second. So we want to do an optimization right now. We only draw the tiles that are on screen, otherwise we start to see noticeable performance issues. Let's do 1000. Okay. And we're able to refresh, but it does get this 10 frames per second, which is pretty horrible. We wanted to go back to 24, but it's still responsive. Whereas before we were getting like 0 frames per second. And so what we want to do here is be a little bit more intelligent in how we draw the tile map. And so what we could do is maybe take a stop down, stop x, const y equals this stop down, stop y. Let's try to figure out how big Vampire Survivors map is. The map stairs specific points where you can find a past item, but otherwise they're endless in all directions. Once you find a green mark on a dairy plant, you'll be able to see what I mean. Enemies. Okay, by walking they're gone. "30 minutes max speed long." Okay, well, for now, let's just make a restriction on how big it is, because that'll be easier to code. I kind of like the idea of being able to get cornered. I think that's interesting, but there's also the idea of wrapping to the other side of the map, because the place that you're living being a wrapping map, I think, is more realistic. Okay, so as I was saying, we also want to do a few more mechanics where we change the position of the tile map. And so x, y, width and height, yeah, they will all be relevant. I think that you're gonna move x, y up and down. All right. So what we could potentially do here is, I don't think we're gonna base this off of bounds. What I think we're gonna do is we're gonna start improving our state, adding more functionality to our state. And how do we do that? We want to go to types and we want to go to state. And we want to say tiles, something like that. And we want to say camera x is a number, y is a number. So let's start using state more. column row? What did I put? That's what I have. Alright, why are you unhappy? What did I call it? I called it tiles. Oh, I never set a type. Survivor dot state. And then we need camera x is 0, y is 0. Great. So now here we can say state.tiles. Alright, our FPS is dying over here. Just going down and down. Crashing and burning. Okay, so hopefully we don't need a reference to the engine anymore. Alright, so we want to have some kind of camera control. We could do it on the tile map and just say on the down. I guess we'll add camera position. Down. Velocity. Keep expanding this. So on key down, at the E down. The state. We also have on key up. Do that for now. And then what we're gonna do is switch. It's not even, it's data. Sorry about that. Data dot key is case arrow up break. Alright, this song is gone. And then we'll do it 3 more times. We'll do arrow right, arrow down, arrow left. Or we could say state.camera.velocity.y equals -1. The x is +1. This will be y is +1, and this will be x is -1. And then, just about the same thing here, except we negate everything. And I guess what we could do is minus equals 1. Plus equals 1, plus equals 1, minus equals 1, plus equals 1, minus equals 1, minus equals 1, plus equals 1. And then on update, we have data, we have state, and here we'll return state, and we'll say state.camera.position.x equals state.camera.position velocity dot x times data dot delta time times camera speed, which is a variable we have not defined yet. So let's do that. Camera speed is 100. Alright, so we've officially died over here. Are you getting static from the mic? Maybe it's just my audio program. I actually have a wired mic. I don't have a mic on my headset. I have this mic right here. Just off screen. I could try turning the mic down, but let me know if it's still staticky. I'm still trying to figure out this audio thing. It's really hard to balance. Alright, well, our program is officially dead, it seems. Yeah. Let's do 100 by 100 so that we don't die. It's kind of weird since the music's coming through. It's clear until we talk. Okay. Okay, I'm just making sure that the audio wasn't coming through my speakers. I could try messing with the sound. I did have like a mic on this headset, but like it was very ASMR. You could like hear me swallowing. You can hear me like, yeah, it was just a lot of saliva, I guess. I don't know how that made people feel. It made me feel uncomfortable when I listened back to it. But like both of my audios are going through one channel right now. Take a look about this. I'm using a program like VoiceMod, and it's like it's putting both the sounds through like my OS rather than like allowing me to separate them. So both audios are on the same channel essentially. Alright, let me try something. Hello. Wow, that just turns my voice modulator off. I need to do something else. I wonder if I should just have both. I just need to think of, I did this before, I forget how I did it. Did I just close this? Does this work? I feel like the sound was very echoey last time I did this. I'm just gonna talk a little bit to see if it's loud enough. Hopefully you can still hear me. Okay. Thanks for the feedback. Maybe I'll just leave it like this. Yeah. Alright, so we want to move the camera. We want the camera's movements to affect the tile sheet. Before we do that, let's do the whole thing for Y as well. So we should have that aspect working, but like it's not actually gonna move because we haven't told it to yet. We're gonna have to do it in here. So const x equals, let's do x, y equals state dot camera dot position. And what we're going to do is we're just very simply going to apply the x and the y. Very simple. Okay, well, I didn't do plus equals, I think. Okay, it is going the wrong way though. So when I press up, the character would move up, which means the map should move down. So everything is opposite. And hopefully everything else is fine. If I go right, the map should move left. If I go down, the map should move up. If I go left, it should move right. If I go up, it should move down. Okay. We can make the map move a little bit faster though. Officially speaking, this is like actually your character speed. And so right now we are drawing 100 by 100 tiles, which is bad, very bad. It would be better if we could figure out which rows and which columns we want to draw. And just do that range. And so what I'm thinking is we're gonna have 2 for loops. Row equal something. Row is less than, I was gonna say like offset x, offset row equals 0, offset row. The condition is going to be row is less than offset row plus shown rows. So we're going to put the number 10. And then row plus. And after all of this, I'm going to do something similar, except it's column, 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 columns. This should be, that's fine. And then this will be column, columns. Now we can get rid of this const. And maybe we could just move this code from here to here. And then what we need to do is say const cell equals state dot tiles sub row question dot sub column if cell. So be cell dot column cell dot row. Nope. Just column and row. And then this one is cell dot column. JK, row. Cell dot column with one in. And then so this should not draw everything, which is exactly what we're expecting. So what we could do is the number of rows that are shown, we're gonna think about how many tiles there are and how wide the screen is. And so, or sorry, rows would be, yeah, how high the screen is. So it'd be the height divided by, we're doing this purely drawing on the canvas element. That's right. You're drawing directly onto the canvas element. We've already set up some parts of the engine that do it for us, so it's kind of happening invisibly, but this part is going to be brand new. We're trying to create something that's a little bit more reusable, something that we're going to put into the engine at some point so that we could use this for other projects. But we're just trying to figure out, what does a tile map even look like? Potentially what arguments can we give it, and then we'll figure out, oh, well, we can just call it with these 5-6 arguments. So we're gonna need the camera's X to know which row we're at, which row to draw at minimum. I think it's gonna basically be, so if as the X goes left, we're gonna have to draw something bigger. And so we're gonna have to do minus X divided by tile size. Hey, the average rain, how's it going? Welcome back. And then negative Y is gonna be very similar. Sorry, this should be the offset. Wait, that's what I was doing. Except this is... Oh my gosh. I'll keep it at 10. Let's just see what it looks like. So, okay, well, we're instantly dead. That's fine. That's fine. Yes, you were in chat yesterday. I do remember you. You're the youngin', the prodigy. Let's see. I have broken things. Is it because I made the speed too high? There's no way. There's no... Okay, let's definitely let's do a breakpoint, because I don't want to think about why this is wrong at the moment. I just want to know why it's wrong. Could have something to do with that, but let's do a refresh. So 0 and 0 is fine here. I think I should floor it. I think that's the smart thing to do. Okay, but we see that we're now drawing as we move. The important parts are that the thing on the left is not gone before it's out of scope, but that we're bringing things in as we move. So things are coming in on the right. As we move down, things are coming in below. So the thing that we need to fix now is how many rows and columns are shown. And I've already kind of alluded to this. The number of rows shown is the height divided by the tile size. And that's probably going to be one too few. We'll see if we can get away with just doing this. We should do math.seal. Maybe that does the job for us if we just seal it. Okay, so one more thing I want to try. I want to do less than equals to, I think, rather than like add 1, and see if that solves the problem. Okay. It seems like it's a lot smoother. So the main problem we were trying to fix earlier is we couldn't do a lot of tiles. We couldn't do 1,000 by 1,000 before. Let's see if we can now. Okay. It's a little fast, for sure. Probably too fast for our needs. Okay. Oh. Hi, Zero Turbo Z. Welcome to the chat. I'm doing alright, how are you? Nice. Are you also a programmer joining us, or are you just interested in Vampire Survivors? Okay. We did the top map. We could figure out right now how this fits into the game engine, but I think that's going to be a problem myself later. I think for me the next interesting thing is to put a character into the game. And take a look at our characters. Yeah, I don't know why I would ever use magenta. Got a bunch of nudes. Is there a readme? I mean, I get that, but like, tell me how to, oh, here it is. There's one margin, that's good to know. Okay, so that's just gonna be another sprite sheet. So let's say const player equals sprite sheet. Not at all. I have not a clue on programming. Just Find a chilled out programmers in the background. Oh yeah. I I wouldn't be surprised if like this became like a stream that people like fall asleep to. It's a lot of like brain activity. Requires a lot of focus. But yeah, welcome. Maybe you'll pick up the lingo, some of the skills through osmosis. Video game composing. Oh, that's really cool. Okay. That's really cool. I mean, you know, if you ever wanted to, like, I could throw in anything. If you compose something, I could throw it into any of these if you want. If you wanted like some exposure. Just let me know. Share a link if you. There's like some kind of soundboard website, isn't there? Anyway, yeah, if you feel courageous. I wonder if they should be the same as the tile size. I don't know. So here, so it's definitely the padding of one. And then they said that it was 16 by 16, so we'll say width is 16, the height is 16. Can close this. We'll just say row is 0 and column is 0, and then we'll have to set the image /public/survivor. Okay. Alright, no problem. Well, good luck with your studies. I hope that you can learn something while you're here. So we have survivor character / characters / wait, what happened? I'm getting so confused because of these folders. Okay. Hello, Cassioplay. How's it going? I learned that I can't tell head or tail apart from what I'm seeing. That's alright. I mean, I don't know. I feel like you could still contribute in some way. You could, I don't know. Sometimes I get hype. So like, if you know, if you're like, hey, let's go, you know, when something crazy happens. CSE major for our first year. Kept swapping departments. Yeah. I know it's it could be challenging for sure. I was thinking to do something similar to this some time ago, but I got stuck on camera part things. Okay. I don't know if what I've done so far helps at all. If you want, I could commit what I have. Add vampire, survive. Well, I'm just gonna say survivor. I don't know if what I've done so far helps you at all, but the code is live on GitHub, so anyone can pull it. They can contribute to it. It's open source. If you have specific questions or specific challenges that you have with the camera, I could just focus on that and just, you know, not do what I have in mind. I don't mind doing it at all. Just let me know. Whatever's like most interesting, most helpful to y'all, that's what I'm trying to do right now. Now, hopefully I don't get banned for showing this character in the buff. Rogue, like, char, transparent. Nobody snitch, no snitches. I did not put the player into the scene. Let's do that here. I didn't set the state. A soft friend of mine making a map for a horror game. That's where I thought of checking out some other development stuff. Cool. I'm focusing on 2D right now. I like the idea. I like the idea of making like 2D horror game. That could be something that I do, like something where lighting is a factor, and where you can't see certain things because like fog of war essentially, scary things behind you, things along those lines. So it's not outside the realm of what we could do here in 2D. If you want to be scared, you should play Minesweeper. This Minesweeper scares me every time. Can't read properties undefined. Alright, but you probably can't play it now. Apparently I broke it. Dang. Okay, so the state's not being passed down here, which is interesting. The bomb just blows up and it scares me every single time, without fail. Let me just figure out why this has a bug. Why is state undefined? No, state's undefined because of this. Who are you? What have you done? Draw. Okay, it's this. Draw all, return state. Oh. Right, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Okay, cool. 2D games simplify things a lot. One less dimension is incredibly easier to work with. I really enjoyed my most recent 2D game that I really enjoyed was Hades. That one was great. I mean, between the game mechanics, the different options for character builds and challenges and the story, it's a great game. I mean, I guess, I don't know. Is it actually top-down 3D? I don't know. Hades is a 2D game framework. No, that's different. Maybe 2.5D? Let me see, what was Hades made in? Which engine? They used a custom C# engine. The engine was difficult to use for porting games to other systems. Interesting. Alright. I think that you could make it in 2D, though. It might not have been 2D, but I think you can make it in 2D. Just like it's kind of isomorphic, and like 2.5D-ish. But yeah, if you like horror, play Minesweeper, and turn your volume all the way up. back and we have a character now. They are incredible looking. And so we're actually going to change the mechanic a little bit. Survivor dot state. We're going to just change this to be player. And then we're going to go back to the state. Wrong state. This state. And we're going to change this to player. Player. And so we want the camera to follow the player. We want the player to be in the center at all times, unless you're in a corner. If you're in a corner, the camera should stop moving. So we gotta change all these references. Player. And then, ideally, move all that logic to this player drawable. And top of all of that, we say state dot player dot x position state dot oh my goodness, what am I doing? Position dot y dot x. Alright, so the camera still moves, but the player should too. Why doesn't the player move? That's what I would want to know. It's very pertinent information. Think of why the player would not be moving right now. Excuse me. Let's put a breakpoint here. Player's position is 20. Maybe they are moving. But so is the map. They are both moving because the player is on the map. So technically the player is moving. Oh, I'm in a breakpoint. Yeah, there's lots of programming languages. There's even programming languages that exist just to torture you. Alright, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the player into the center. So their position is going to be width divided by 2 minus 16 divided by 2, which is just 8. And it's going to be 8 divided by 2 minus 8. People like live and die by their programming languages of choice. And so next we need to find the center. Like, I am a TypeScript junkie. I can't get enough of TypeScript. It might not be the fastest language in the world, but it is one of the easiest to write code in and just get instantaneous results. So we want the tile map to be offset from the character's middle. And so what we want to do is minus width divided by 2 minus height divided by 2. Save it, refresh it. And so characters, we should restrict the map and also make the character move in the negative direction, I guess. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe that'll look cooler. Maybe that'll look right. Okay, maybe the... Let me save this, because it's more important that the character shows in the right place. Okay, so the character right now is moving the opposite direction I want him to. I'll just focus on the character right now. Not this. R plus, R plus, R minus, plus, R minus, R minus, plus. Just so people know I'm using Vim shortcuts. So if you hear me saying random keys that you don't see happening, it's because of that. Okay, I just want the character to move in the right direction. So when I go up, he's going up, left, he's up, down, right. Okay. And then I want the map to move kind of in the opposite direction. So basically, the map should be moved to where the character is, then offset by their width and height. Okay, so we might be able to get it to look cool if we do math.max 0 and whatever the heck this number is, and math.max with 0 and whatever the heck this number is. Maybe it looks cool now. And so I was trying to stay centered, but like since we're at the edge, the map doesn't want to go off screen. Now we can see clearly that the map is going the opposite direction that we want it to. So it makes me wonder if this should be negative, potentially. So again, we're going to the corner, but if we go down, it's not following because it's going negative. Interesting. We'll figure this out. It's not a huge challenge right now. Let's just try to think it through. I'll take the upper left-hand corner of the map. Based on how much the character has moved. Let's get rid of this. At least the character looks like it's moving now. Let's not worry about the balance yet. I just want the map to move in the correct direction. Okay, I gotta hop off the line soon. Alright, this looks interesting. This looks funny. Definitely not correct. Do you have to end soon? Yeah, I have to end soon. I have an interview at 12 o'clock. I have a phone call at 12 o'clock. So I'll head out around 11:50, but I'll be back around 1 p.m. Eastern time for a 4-hour stream. And then we'll do a little bit more of this. So just need to take a break. I have a dog I need to walk. I have the interview. So just a few errands to run, I guess. All right. Thank you, Average Brain. So one thing's for sure, the character should never show anywhere but the middle of the screen. So the fact that he's able to move the middle of the screen is kind of sus. I guess it's mainly when he's not in a corner, but still. So let's just focus intensely on keeping this character in the center of the screen. Let's just think deeply, methodically. I feel like we kind of want the player to be in the tile map rather than separate from the tile map. Okay, let's make it so that the tile map we make it so only the tile map moves. I'm just trying to visualize it in my head. That's the challenge right now. We almost want to just draw we want to draw the player basically wherever they are, but then we want to also offset them by some number. All right, so what I think we need to do then is just say state dot player width divided by 2 divided by 2 minus 8 minus 8. We're just gonna do a constant for now and just see if he stays centered. I don't know. Oh, we don't need to do this. We also don't do that, maybe? Okay. Okay. Okay, so we're only moving the map now. So the player is at here. Where do we tell the player? The player is supposed to be in the middle of the map. Okay. We did step 1. We made sure that the player is always in the middle. I'm just trying to figure out how to do this without doing a whole bunch of transforms. I feel like transforms are just not gonna be fun to do right now. But it might be the only way. So what we might have to do is say, we don't actually do this, except we do. we do this. What we don't do is this. We'll do this somewhere else. Ah, yes. So it's just not drawing. It's just not drawing everything. Cause it thinks we're somewhere that we're not, pretty much. I think it's gonna take a little bit to get to where we need to be. So let's just think about this a little bit. Right now, I'm telling it where to start drawing. And the start drawing position is kind of wrong. Okay, so that helps. And so the tile map is no longer moving, but it is drawing based on where it thinks I am. And so what I'm thinking of doing is adding like a whole nother layer here. This one will be state.layer. State.player.x, state.player.y. Am I even happy with this? X does not exist on type. Oops. Okay. Okay, I'm moving now, but the map is not. We want the map to move a little bit more smoothly. But I'm in the right place on the map, and the right parts of the map I believe are being drawn. But now we want to do like an extra transform so that the player is centered. And in order to do that, we're just gonna do like we're just gonna do this for now. We're gonna do some kind of drawable that basically transforms everything for us. And the children of this is going to be the tile map, and the player. And so it will say x is 0, y is 0, width is irrelevant, and we're going to have a new draw, which will take context. Sorry, not context, it'll take config. Yes, we are coding this from scratch. Welcome, Senf. No AI here, no code assistance. Klein, is that an AI? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it is. I've never used it. Looks interesting though. Const context equals config. I mean, it is a little tedious, but it's also fun. It's a learning experience. Thank you. Thanks for the luck. Thanks for joining in. So what am I going to do? We're going to do draw all. I thought I had access to that function. Do I not? Go to the engine. Look for draw all. I don't. Let's import it. And we'll basically just do dot config drawables is stop children. Why are you unhappy? That's alright. And then this is where we would do the transform, essentially. I'm actually trying to understand. Okay, I think we're drawing the wrong. I think we stopped drawing the wrong things. That's an issue. So something's going wrong in here. And I think it's because the players. No. Yeah. I don't know. Let's just see what happens. Beautiful. Excellent. So we're seeing that as we go up, we stop drawing that top layer. I was trying to think, so the player's X is becoming smaller, right? And we make it even smaller with the minus width divided by 2. Oh, so the start row becomes negative because we're higher now. And so we just don't draw the first row. Okay, alright, it all makes sense now because this X is making our offset row become -1. And because we're at -1, we don't draw this first row. That's making sense to me. But we still draw 0. We still go plus plus to draw 0. I think we can actually do. It's fine. We don't need to do anything. We can still do the transform now. And so the transform should be to keep the player in the center, and then we'll bound it times it. Okay. 5 more minutes. We'll say context.save, and then after this, context.restore. Right? And then we'll say context.translate. And we kind of want to center the player. And so the idea here is we would move the camera's X, say that the player is all the way down bottom right. We need to move it. Let's just move it negative player. Let's put state here. Player dot or state. char dot position dot x, y. He won't be centered is my guess. I guess he is. Okay, well he's not centered. I would have at least expected him to be in a fixed position at least. But we're probably going to have to figure that out later. Because when we translate by the player's position here, this is what's... Oh my gosh, I'm not drawing the right thing. Okay, he's always at a fixed spot, right? Okay, always at a fixed spot. Okay, well I would have thought that moving would draw different things, but it doesn't. And then we want to alter this to be negative width divided by 2, negative height divided by 2. Let's just see what that does. Okay, we're totally off screen now. Do a plus. And so the character should basically be drawn in the same spot, but the tile map should be moving now. And when we draw all, we have the tile map. We're doing the translate. If we go to tile map, in terms of translating, we just translate by column, tile size, row, tile size. So all right, I'm getting close to my interview, so I'm gonna sign out now before I accidentally miss it, because I know that I will if I don't. But I will be back at about 1 p.m. Eastern time for a 4-hour stream. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you later. Bye. Thank you.